Started. Hey, look at that.
Talking business, leave me alone.
All right. Happy Monday, everybody. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. We're going to talk about prospecting and listings to leads. Prospecting is a very broad category, as we're about to discover. And so for weeks, we've been going through what I defined as the prospecting clinic. And it was a PowerPoint of 25 different ideas and methods by which you could perhaps attract new clients or a new business. And so Breakthrough Broker has this handout here with 105 ideas, which I thought we might look at together. Some of them are good, some of them are not so good, but there's a lot on here. And so the idea was, can we look at this together and determine maybe a few that would be useful or more useful, and then we can include those in our prospecting clinic PowerPoint. Does that make sense? Okay, so let me share my screen with those of you online. Bear with me 1 second here. Well, so this is the handout that the folks here have. This is available for download on Breakthrough Broker. You can tell because it's got their little logo right here. So if you go to Breakthrough Broker and you just search in the top right corner prospecting, you'll find this this handout. And so I took the time to read through all 105 of these the other day, and I thought to myself, you know, there's some things on here. Well, obviously there's some things on here that are not in our clinic, but there's some things in here that might be useful to somebody. And so my thought was, you know, can we find something in here that we could potentially add to our clinic, which, you know, this was our prospecting clinic, if you remember. So we started this series about 2.5 months ago, I guess. And so we've gone through all of our slides. And so my idea is to add some of these things to this list. So that being said, let's just, you know, maybe take a minute and read through this to ourselves and see if anything jumps out. Feel free to speak up, interact, engage. This is not a scripted training class by any means. So it's gonna require a little input from you guys. So some of these things we've obviously talked about. Charity events. We have a charity script, but going to charity events, I think, is something that could be helpful. How about number 48? Interview people you want to meet to broaden your sphere of influence. I thought that was kind of interesting. And if you do a lot of you know, recruiting training or any kind of marketing training on Facebook right now, what you're going to find is that real estate agents have taken up this idea or this concept of interviewing, you know, the restaurant owner or the principal of the high school or the community service worker, you know, the soccer coach, as a way of providing content and value to their sphere of influence, which I think is kind of a cool idea.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I think it's a really good idea. It's something that the community that you work in would be interested in.
What would that number 51 be? Do a drawing to capture names? Would that be to build your list of people that you can sell or buy? You know, I mean, what would that entail?
Yeah, I think so. And so you see people do this on Facebook. You know, they might ask a quiz-like question and say, you know, post your comments below, and on Friday we're going to have a drawing to give away a $5 Starbucks card. And so you might have, you know, 10, 15, 100 or 500 people enter your little quiz. And now you've got the ability to communicate with 500 people that you didn't have before you did the drawing. is. Yep, 51, yeah, number 51, do a drawing. So yeah, I think that's what they mean by that, so.
Okay, I did that before with with something else on Facebook, but I think they will work with, they probably will work with real estate. Because I did that
I
before.
think, you know, by doing these quizzes or these, you know, giving someone an opportunity to comment or contribute, it's a good way to get new engagement.
Sometimes I have seen agents, even if it wasn't a quiz, it might have been share my post, a comment and share this post, and you'll be entered into a drawing that was a real estate post.
Gotcha.
Sometimes they do drawings for open houses to get people to sign, give them real information.
Okay, that is a good idea. So for all of the attendees at an open house, if you register with legit information, we're gonna have a drawing, you know, maybe the next day or maybe later in the day, and we're gonna give away something of value, which is an incentive for the visitor then to register at your open house with a name other than Mickey Mouse.
Yep.
Well, they would have to give you legit information if they want to be
If they
contacted.
want to
with
be
their winnings.
notified.
At least their
Right.
phone number, right?
That's right.
So if you give away a gas card,
That'll work.
people will give you their
Oh,
real
that's really
information.
cool.
That's a good one.
That's
Wow.
really smart.
That's a really
She
good
said,
one.
right?
Yeah, I love that.
I read an article that said that the White House is thinking about giving out gas cards.
Yeah, I mean, you know, have gas card will travel. Love it, love it, love it. I also really like number 17. This is probably not something that we've spent a lot of time talking about as an office, but when I went to the Ninja sales training event a couple of years ago, they were really, really big on the idea of providing annual real estate reviews for everyone you know. Because who amongst us who owns a home is not interested in their home value, right? And so much like your investment advisor, your financial advisor might offer an annual review, much like you meet with your CPA once a year, generally, to talk about taxes and Uncle Sam and such. You know, some people meet with an insurance advisor once a year to talk about maybe life insurance or homeowners insurance, car insurance, any of those types of securities. You could also, you know, be their real estate advisor and invite yourself to offer them a real estate review once a year. I think that's really smart.
I did something like that, Jason, where I sent out a market update for my neighborhood. And it shows, you know, what sold, what, you know, what was listed for, what it sold for. And I'll never forget, I was out walking one day and two of the neighbors were out walking and they had my list because they were trying to see which house sold, you know, like one was this, one was that. And they were just looking to get a good idea which
Wow.
house it was because our development has grown. So I continue to send that out. And I do get some calls. You know,
That's really
they ask
cool.
questions, someone's calling that.
Yeah, yeah.
How do you do that? Is it a letter?
I created a template. Now, I'll show you. I'll pull it up.
I mean, when you mail it out, is it a letter or?
I sent it with a cover letter, a couple of sentences, and then attached to it is the template with all the information.
Is it so you put it in an envelope, put a stamp on it, and
I did that in the beginning, and then it became a little costly. So now I just bring it to them and put it on their door.
oh, okay.
You know, just leave it there.
So you're farming essentially your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you've literally seen ladies walking in the neighborhood carrying your letter.
That's all.
That's really cool. So really, really cool.
Jason, I'd like to add something if I could.
Yes, please.
I'm in my car. I tried to get over that way, but I ran into issues. So as far as like the CMAs, so I had a couple of people that had mentioned that they wanted to talk to me about selling. And then, you know, a couple months went by and I didn't hear anything. So I'm very interested in knowing what how, and they both agreed that yes, they would like to know that. So I thought that was interesting how they had it in the back of their mind, but they didn't really do anything. Or now we have a game. Other thing, if I didn't just lose it, which I think I just lost it. Hold on a second. Oh, I know. So yesterday I had a pop-up come up in my Facebook, and this was a listing that I had last year that for whatever reason last year did not sell. And so the pop-up came up and the pictures came up, and I thought, I need to reach out to this lady. So I did. I sent a text and said, you know, your pictures just came up. You know, we struggled last year, but the market is so much better. What are your thoughts? And I got this nice long email about, hey, we were just working out in the yard and we were just talking about selling our house again this year. So now I have an appointment to them, and, you know, and maybe they would have reached out to me, but what really prompted them to respond was the fact that I reached out to them and said, hey, it was this time last year that you tried to sell your house. What are you thinking now? And I thought, boy, this is incredible. Follow-up really works. I mean, I've always been so bad at follow-up, but follow-up really works.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
So.
Yeah. No, that's good. Good information, and congratulations on the new listing appointment again. So
Yeah.
you don't know whether that would have happened had you not reached out to them. You know, maybe somebody else was marketing to them, or maybe they thought because it didn't work last time, we'll try somebody new. But then there you were, in the right place at the right time. So very good.
Right. Yeah.
Wow. Blogging, number 23. I know, Kelly, you're big into blogging, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, I've started doing it on my website. And I really just pick off the stuff off the Long and Foster and put it on there.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And I think that's, you know, one of the ideas behind the content that Long and Foster puts on their corporate sites is that this is information that could be useful to the general public, and as such, you can share it in a blog in order to draw attention to you and your site and your presence versus you know, the corporate site. So email drip campaigns, we all know about that. So adopt a school, take them treats and pop buys, or volunteer at a school. Maybe. Maybe.
Pop by for the teachers instead.
That's an idea. Yeah.
Or maybe the office, because they would know people that's moving out of the area, moving in the area.
That's true. Yeah, give the people that work in the main office maybe a little kudos, maybe a little nothing bundt cake or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
Read number 74.
I bet they would appreciate that. Visit with marriage counselors. Perhaps they have a client who can't reconcile and need to sell. So number 74.
They are covering all bases.
Yeah.
This one should be see an attorney.
Yeah.
I had somebody call and looking for a rental, and it's like, oh, well, we're getting divorced. And I was like, well, you're selling. Oh, we've already got an agent to sell the house.
So there is something to be said for you know, probate attorneys, divorce attorneys. We know that, you know, 50% of all marriages end in divorce. We know that there are a lot of divorce attorneys in and around Hampton Roads.
A lot of people are dying.
A lot of people die all the time in Hampton Roads. I don't know what it is. So, yeah. So there's a lot of, you know, opportunities to form connections and relationships with attorneys in the area who can refer you business. maybe you refer them business. Maybe you go to lunch once a month. I think that's an interesting idea.
I shared number 72 recently with y'all, but it was something I found on Facebook.
That's right.
Yeah.
Pay for the person behind you at the drive-thru and give them your card. That's pretty smart, you know. Might not always do it, but could be useful. Anybody, anything jump out to you guys?
There was one I can't find. Oh, number 97
Mm.
talks about talk to car dealers, because people that's buying a new car probably can, but once they buy the car, it won't.
Say, wait, before you do that,
Yeah, we've seen that, right? We've seen that. You know, when you buy a car, you have $400 or $500 a month car payment. Now you can't qualify for the house that you want.
Right.
Yeah, it's horrible. But no, that's true. I mean, people who are going car shopping likely have pretty good credit, likely have pretty good income. It's generally the next biggest purchase of someone's, you know,
Yeah.
life experience. It's the house, and then the cars, and then the college fund. And, you know. Good point.
87. Oh, out of state or out of area listing agents and see if clients come into the area for a referral fee.
So I mean, I guess if there were out of area listing agents, I mean, how would you even determine that though? I mean, you'd have to go through RAIN and look for listing agents who are not from this area.
I mean, I guess like up to DC, I don't know, just look through the ads or.
Just make yourself available.
I
as
guess
a,
basically just network with people, other realtors in different states and stuff.
Yeah, and there is something to that. I mean, you know, all of these companies, from the Tom Ferrys to the Brian Buffini's to the who's that financial guy? He talks on the radio and
Dave Ramsey.
yeah, the Dave Ramsey guy. I mean, all of these people try to create a referral network
Right.
among their population. So there's something to be said for these national and international referral relationships. You know, so many times you'll see, you know, it could be a designation, right? So ABR has a referral network of those folks who have earned their ABR, the accredited buyer representative designation. So it definitely works.
What is your thought on designations? Are they worth it?
Not in my opinion.
And you've got a lot of
I do.
them.
But nobody knows what they are, what they mean, you know.
I just did those 3 and I haven't done anything, like, I don't even know what to do, like, okay, I paid my money and I passed the class.
Yeah,
Now what do I do?
yeah. And next year they're gonna want more money,
Right.
you know,
ABR.
so.
I have my ABR, but I stopped paying a long time ago.
That's it.
Where do you post that you have the business card? or
Yes.
Business card, website,
Your website, your signature line.
signature, email, signature.
Also GRI.
So it makes it look good, even though they don't understand what it means.
Well, that's kind of like
That's-
the realtor designation you pay for.
Right,
That those other designations are just the same.
right.
They're designations that you know what they are, unless you spell them out, like accredited buyer. You know, you like spell out the whole word. Nobody knows what ABR is.
I was so mad when I got my ABR.
I barely know what
passed
an
the
ABS
test.
is.
I thought that's all you had to do. And then they started telling me how to pay for it. I was like, no, I passed the test.
Yeah,
I already paid you people.
What do I have to know? Why do I-
I
right.
think you said it well the other day that it really is impressive to other realtors.
Yeah,
Much
Yeah.
yeah. I think realtors know what those designations mean, or that, you know, what may have been involved in obtaining those designations. And, you know, honestly, when I got when I started collecting designations, you know, I put them into my listing presentation and my buyer presentation.
Right.
I put them into my Moxie slideshow. And I would explain to my client as what I thought might be a point of differentiation is I have taken additional classes to gain additional knowledge and experience versus the many, many more realtors who have not.
Right.
And I would have them all laid out, ABR, SRS, MRP, blah, 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 blah. You know, trying to make myself stand out amongst the competition. I don't know. I did it. I don't know if it paid for itself or not,
I think it's always good to
but
take the classes. and
you
learn.
can't have too much knowledge.
So did you learn anything new from the classes or that you were able to
Yeah.
use?
Yeah. Like the SRS, I thought that was a pretty cool class. That was the seller representation specialist. ABR, I mean, is a great class. You know, you have to, what's cool about the ABR is you actually have to qualify for it.
Yeah.
You have to have what, the 5 buyers in 24 months or something, or 12 months. And so I remember when I was first getting started, I was so excited because I wanted to get that designation so bad, but I had to earn it.
Yep.
You know, and I saw that as an incentive. So that was kind of cool.
You also had the SRES, which was the senior real estate specialist.
Mom's got that one.
And when that
Yep.
one first came out, everybody like jumped right up on that. That gives you tools to market those types of people.
Right. Yep. Senior real estate
That's
specialist.
technically what they should be called, but it's.
It's the old people designation. That's what I call it.
Number 63.
Number 63, wedding announcements. So if someone's getting married, chances are good they may be looking to buy a home together or upsize together. 64, baby announcements. So people get married and they have babies, and that will sometimes, a lot of times, result in more bedrooms.
Yep.
Yeah, I think, you know, if you receive a wedding announcement or see a wedding announcement, sometimes they put those in the paper, don't they? Mr. or so-and-so and Ms. So-and-so are soon to become husband and wife somewhere, sometime.
I don't know, do people even, are newspapers still around?
They are digitally.
Yeah. Smithfield puts out a newspaper, so.
So what do you think? There's definitely some ideas, I think, that could be incorporated into our prospecting clinic.
Can you email those, Jason, or where can we pull them up at?
Yeah, so this is available at breakthroughbroker.com.
Okay,
In the top right corner, you can search prospecting and you'll find this. But we'll also send it out, yes.
okay. Thank you.
So 105 ideas.
Number 75. Are we gonna try to do that?
Oh, the old float.
Yeah,
So this has been done before, from what I understand, with the
yeah, we do it, used to do it at the Norfolk office.
local Long and Foster offices, July Christmas parade, or
So regarding the parade, we were supposed to do it last year,
that's what I thought. The parade was canceled.
but the parade was.
So
Right,
we're looking forward to this year, right?
right.
As soon as Mike tells us something, Mike's one of the coordinators for the float, so for the
We
parade.
can't win anything.
We can, but he can't have any influence over us.
And he was the one that got us winning everything.
Lights, we need lots and lots of lights.
We could make a really cool float.
We've
Yeah.
had many of floats. There's
Yeah.
trophies around here somewhere that
So
the Norfolk office had won years ago. We one year had a life-size, I want to say ceramic. The thing, I don't know. It was
The horse?
fragile. It was a horse that we had to store in the lobby of the office because we couldn't leave it on the float the night before. And one year we had a circus theme. I was a pregnant clown. That'll tell you how long it's been since that parade happened. And we had a guy who had to hold on to the popcorn, a real like circus-like popcorn maker that was popping popcorn while we were floating down the street, had to hold on as we turned corners so we didn't lose it. Good times.
Good times, good
Yeah.
times.
So there is an opportunity there to get into the parade.
Should have been passing out business cards.
That's right. Passing out
We weren't
cards.
allowed to throw anything from the sides, so.
Huh.
It's unfortunate.
I thought you were supposed to be able to throw candy in parades, you know?
Well, it was Christmas, it's like right before Thanksgiving and it's not that kind of parade. It's a bright lights, fun, kids sit on the side. I used to carry my kid because
But they
he
do.
got tall.
I'm sure they do other parades. This
Uh,
isn't the only one of the year.
Right.
Do they do boat parades here? Or is that just in warm climates?
Political
Yeah, no,
vote
they do.
parade.
They do a boat parade, don't they? The parade
The
of
NATO,
over by the
what
yacht
is that
club.
thing?
They had a boat parade.
no, not that one. It's usually downtown Norfolk between Portsmouth and Norfolk, that little waterway. Gosh, what is the
This is
NATO?
Christmas time, man.
No,
They have,
what's
they
it
have,
called? Can't think
Not
of
to
it.
Google it, yes.
Anyway, it's a NATO parade because all the big boats come from like
Oh,
the NATO parade.
Yeah.
They usually have
The
one that's
Azalea
like parked
Festival.
and you can walk in it. Oh my gosh, I can't think of it.
Isn't it the Azalea Festival?
No,
When they celebrate Miss NATO? and-
Harbor Fest, but it's, there's also a NATO, the parade, maybe it's part of Harbor Fest, maybe. It's like the beginning of June, middle of June.
Yeah, Harbor Fest.
And there's
Maybe
usually a
that
boat
term.
parade, but it involves NATO and they have like foreign ships that usually come in and you can go up on like the
Festival flag.
festival or something. Don't quote me.
Anybody
It's
got a
all
boat?
ships. Thank
What's
you.
the benefit of that though, of the parade? I mean, other than people seeing you, like you can't interact with people, right?
Don't they have- I
You're
thought they
floating
had
by
a big,
and
They end up
festival
parking.
there.
They end up parking, but there's usually like people who go to see the boats. So like you walk
You're not talking about
around,
being on a boat.
well, she might be. I wouldn't be. I would be the one in the crowd going, hey, here you go, have a goodie bag of Happy Me, you know, like, I mean, it's a Town Point Park, is that what it's called? Town
Yeah,
Point Park.
June 10th, they have the Harbor Fest Boat Parade.
They changed the name, not bad.
Because
I always
remember
thought they had,
a
like-
few years ago, they had that thing down at the ocean front on the boardwalk and we had a big tent.
We
People
did.
walk by. and-
Yep.
That's long.
No, it was like a wounded warrior. thing.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
remember that.
we've done that.
Yeah.
The oceanfront's always doing some kind of event
Yeah.
that we can hang out on their boardwalk.
The
Just got-
Parade of Sails.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was.
NATO parade
Yeah,
sales.
yeah.
But that's the whole weekend and you, it's, they have like food stands and you just walk around and there's like usually people playing music and I don't know, people you've never heard of.
But I
What about art festivals?
There's lots of those at Town Point Park.
Yeah.
There's lots of things at Town Point Park at the oceanfront.
Yeah.
I don't know about anywhere else because I don't leave those two areas.
They have
So-
one in Ghent. What is it? The Stockley Garden?
Stockley Gardens Art Festival, that's small, though, I mean, it could be done.
It normally has a big turnout.
There's a lot of people that walk the streets of Stockley Gardens.
Just an idea, if if you had a tent at something like that, or,
If you
you know,
can get a
something,
tent.
then
Sorry.
you could do, you could do an activity event that draws people into the tent, art related, of course, and then, give out business cards or, I mean, I don't know how much that would generate, but just an idea.
That's a great idea. It's very similar to what we had going on at the Wounded Warrior thing a few years ago. We had a tent.
They spin a
And
wheel.
there was several agents there and we kind of took shifts working in the tent. People would come by and, we could enter them for a drawing or, obviously handing out cards and trying to create new relationships through conversation. So, yeah, absolutely. Those festivals and parades and things are great opportunities.
I mean, you can
to,
certainly find out if of one, and you
Yeah.
gotta give me enough time to order some supplies. I mean, we have coloring books we can order
Yeah.
with like lots of crayons for kids and stuff. There's things that we can order with our Long and Foster stuff on it. I just need to know well in advance.
Right, right, absolutely.
Especially with the way our shipping's been going. So.
Mhm.
Can we do something at Harborfest or Bayou Boogaloo or?
Ooh, let's go. Hello, the Cajun Festival. Come on, guys.
Cajun
The
Festival.
Show our
wine
spiciness.
festival at Town Point Park?
Show our
Yeah,
spiciness.
so sounds like there's a lot of opportunity. in
All right,
this,
Jason,
did
get on
that.
that.
Wounded Warrior thing, Soren cleaned out every dollar store of their umbrellas because it was gonna be hot and sunny, and printed off labels and stuck them to each one and handed them out to people as he walked around and talked to them.
Oh, wow,
So,
That's a good
shade them
idea.
from the sun, and then it's branded to him.
that was smart.
Smart.
That was smart.
That was smart. Yeah.
Alrighty, I'll go to the dollar store
Get all their umbrellas.
and go buy all the umbrellas.
So there's lots of opportunities to
They're
put your name
$1.25.
out there.
It just requires a little, and I think that's what this list goes to display is, it takes a little imagination, it takes a little creativity, thinking outside the box, and a little effort, But if you're willing to do that, there are some really good and interesting ways to meet new people, and that's really the name of the game. We have to constantly be monitoring or nurturing our existing sphere of influence, but we can never ever stop adding names to that list. And so hopefully there's something here that will be useful to all of us. So,
Oh, what's that?
Definitely would have to give your business card to your waitress.
Yeah.
Just don't be.
That's what I do.
Around
The
athletic
pop-up
fields, high
cards.
school, baseball fields and stuff, you see people with their big banners up there.
Sponsoring teams, youth little leagues.
Yeah.
That's a good one to do. I mean, you just have to call the league, the youth association in your area.
Well, this, one of the clients that I had recently, well, the girlfriend, posted on Facebook, she's part of the Western Branch Little League thing, if anybody was interested in putting up a banner, to let her know.
Most of them run anywhere from like $100 to 5 or 6,
Yeah.
sometimes more, depending on how much effort you want to put into it. Usually, now I don't know when their season starts, but they'll put your name on the back of the t-shirts, they'll put banners up, they'll put you on their websites, things like that. There's 2 in Norfolk, well, there's more than 2 in Norfolk, but there's 2 that I'm associated with that, would certainly love money. I mean, they can always use it, fix the fields, the concession stands, things like that. You can always volunteer for those too. Wear your shirt that says you're with Long and Foster, get a
or,
shirt.
ask me about real estate, put that on your
Right,
shirt.
and on the back, have your name and number. I know
Right.
Brian had that on one of his. He had a t-shirt that he would wear to places like the Pride, the gym, different places that.
Yeah, you should, I think Realtor swag is a great way to have, encourage people to ask you about real
Jason went
estate.
to the bank and wore a Long and Foster shirt. just
I
so
did.
everybody knows.
That's it. It's the nicest shirt I have, so. I
If you wore
dressed
a
up,
t-shirt, it wouldn't have mattered.
I dressed up for the occasion.
She did, no,
To the right side.
we did not.
Sorry.
I didn't want to do that in front of Barbara.
Station. I
Are they in the
want
same
one
office?
of
Mail.
Are they in the same office?
Evelyn's name tags. Those are nicer than anything.
The round
else.
one?
Yeah,
Okay.
I never saw that option.
It
There's
was.
the trade shows or home shows. Don't they have they have a home show or a trade show, a Homeorama, that's right. And they also have the builders.
Tidewater Builder Association.
That's right, they do a show every year. So I believe it is in Hampton, and that's a place where you can actually set up a table. You could set up a tent inside the expo center there and meet and greet people
I
as
think you need
they,
permission for that, and
as
you
they
also
go
have
by.
to sponsor it.
yeah.
You remember when Long and Foster used to have a booth? a
At
kiosk?
Homerama?
No, at Chesapeake Square Mall.
Oh.
I do.
But nobody wants to go in there anymore.
Yeah, I used to go.
But they
there.
also had it at MacArthur and
I don't remember
Lynn
seeing
Haven?
that MacArthur.
Had books.
Yeah, we had big books and we had.
it was the worst thing ever for an admin. I'm just putting that out there. Nobody wanted to go. And we always had to refill the books.
Because we didn't have computers out there. So everything was paper.
Manual.
It was
Yeah.
horrible.
And they had big books for every city.
Horrible.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Back in the day. That was also the time when we used to get our contracts delivered to us by rain. Remember that?
All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up, but let me know if you've got an idea for next week's prospecting class. We may be able to expand our clinic even further, or I'd really like to hear from you guys and you know, what are you doing? You know, what's working for you? You know, what have you tried? What didn't work for you? You know, it's sometimes it's a process of trial and error. You know, we learn best through experience, unfortunately, and so sometimes we try things and they don't work very well. So
How about you give them homework?
let me
Tell them
know.
to pick one of those.
Yeah, pick something and do it.
Homework. We're gonna quiz you next week.
Or how about this?
So
How
Jason,
about-
you're gonna send the list over?
Yeah, I can send this.
Okay.
Absolutely. So how about number 83? Ask for referrals. And of course, we'll be talking about that again on Friday, right? Scripts, dialogues, and debates. It's all about referrals. So. All right, gang, if that's it for you, thank you for being here. We appreciate it. And we'll send this this PDF out to everyone, except for the people who are here, because you already have
I wrote on that.
it. All right, guys, see you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, thank you.